Welcome to the Blaine County Board of Commissioners meeting February the 4th. At this time, Mr. Warren Hill will lead us in prayer, and Dr. O'Phil Goins will lead us in the pledge of allegiance.
Pray with me. Father, thank you so much for this night. Thank you for a beautiful day you've given us. I thank you for our commissioners here. I pray for each one of them individually, that you'll be with them, keep them safe, Lord. Give them knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of how to handle the county's business, Lord, tonight and every day. And pray for their families, Lord, as they spend time away from them. And Lord, we just pray for this meeting tonight, that it will be handled in a way that would be pleasing to you, and that your will be done. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Walk Mr. Hill. Stand within God we trust. Thank you,
Appreciate
Mark.
it. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Those pledge. I
pledge
pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let me approve consent items. With the pleasure of the board, I'd like to move 8A, Blaine Community College Board of Trustees. I'd like to make it 13B. It's on the agenda to be approved the 18th, and the trustees have a retreat the 22nd. And this new whoever's appointed to the Community College Board will probably need more than 2 or 3 days to prepare for that retreat. So with the pleasure of the board, I would ask that be added in the consent items, and I'll ask for a motion to approve the consent items. Make a motion.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Britt, second by Mr. Gooden. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Individuals, delegation wishing to address the commissioners? We have any, Mr. Martin?
No, sir, not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, I have put one gentleman's name on there, but he hasn't arrived yet, so we can do that.
Where did you put his name?
It's on the pad over there.
Okay, just want to get it.
But you can just do it in the next section.
We'll break him when he comes. Okay. At this time, we're going to introduce our newest community college president. And then we're going to do Mr. Terry Duncan. So let's commissioners go up front, then we'll introduce Dr. Lee, and then we'll stand there with Terry while she gets sworn in. Dr. Lee, if you'll come forward, please. It is my pleasure and privilege to introduce Dr. Amanda Lee, the new president of Blaine Community College. Dr. Lee started her new job on February the 1st. Dr. Lee brings a wealth of knowledge to our college with her education and corporate background. And Dr. Lee, on behalf of the Blaine County Board of Commissioners, we welcome you to Blaine County and look forward to working with you very closely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Since Mr. Britt is a trustee, I was going to see if he had a few words.
I'd like to let everyone know that how impressed the board was of the interview that we had with Dr. Lee, and how overly excited we were about you and your spouse willing and wanting to move to Blaine County. You said he really liked the rule setting and all, and that was so encouraging for the board, because we always like someone that holds a position such as yourself, or any position for to choose to hopefully live and give Blaine County a chance. So I thank you so much on behalf of the Board of Trustees at our college. Thank you. Yes, ma'am. You're welcome.
Hey, Dr. Lee.
Well, I have a few remarks, but I don't know if I should look at you or
Please
look
do.
at you. Because I want to talk to all of you.
You see us enough.
So, Mr. Chairman, members of the Board of County Commissioners and the County Manager, Greg, it's nice to meet you face to face
Nice to
today.
meet you.
And I want to say that I appreciate this opportunity to be standing here before you. And truly on my second day, to have the opportunity to stand here with all of you is a wonderful privilege. I am excited because I have been in higher education for many years, and Alan is very good at saying exactly how many years that I have been doing everything. But I have been at Nash Community College, I've been at Cape Fear Community College, I've been at Texas A&M University, I've been at UNCW, I've been at Baylor University. All of this preparing me for right now and right here. And as the chairman said, we are excited, my husband and I, to come to Bladen County. We spent the entire day Saturday house hunting and very encouraged by all the options that we have here. And we are also very excited to start putting our roots down here. But what I really wanted to say is this isn't about me, and this is why I wanted to face you all, because it's because of you that I wanted to come. And it's the dedication that y'all have done with the community college and the support that the college has been getting from you, that the students have gotten the services they've gotten, and that the faculty and staff are in such a wonderful place. And I'm honored to follow Dr. Finn's footsteps. He's left big shoes, and I know with your continued support, it's going to be a wonderful adventure for all of us. So thank you on behalf of the college and the students.
Welcome.
Thank you.
If you want to come forward to. Mr. Eddie, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We are pleased to welcome Terry Duncan as the county's new Health and Human Services Director as well as Health Director. Terry has a wealth of knowledge and experience in the healthcare industry, having worked at Bladen County Hospital and then Cape Fear Valley Bladen County Hospital for several decades. And she also has been a member of the Health and Human Services Committee, so she has personal experience and knowledge with regard to the services offered by the Health Department, DSS, and the Division on Aging. So Terry is a real asset to our organization. We welcome you. She's also a lifelong learner. She is working on her doctorate and anticipates, I think, completing that later in the year. And so we certainly congratulate her on that endeavor. And I look forward to working with you, Terry. Thank you.
Well, I had my first day today, and I made it through the end of the day thanks to a wonderful staff at all three of the agencies. I was able to start in the health department, visited social services and the Department of Aging today. I have found the staff to be very engaging, very professional, and doing some wonderful things for the county. Look forward to working with them and seeing just what things we can do in the future. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I am a lifelong resident of Bladen County, and it's important to me that the people of this county get the care and the services that they so deserve.
I asked Terry where was her t-shirt. I survived the first day.
All right.
Nikki can do that.
Hey, I'm sorry, come back. I'm sorry. You Greg, come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I didn't want to step my things.
Get over here. Come on, Russ.
I could see you and see folks behind you. Anyway.
Do you, Teresa Powers Duncan, hereby solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, so help you God? I do. Do you, Teresa Powers Duncan, further solemnly swear that you will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the state of North Carolina and to the constitutional and powers and authorities which are, or may be established for the government thereof, that you will endeavor to support, maintain, and defend the Constitution of North Carolina, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God?
I do.
Do you, Teresa Powers Duncan, further swear that you will well and truly execute the duties of office of Consolidated Human Services Agency, also known as Health and Human Services Director, to include duties of Health Director, according to the best of your skill and ability, and according to law, so help you God?
I do.
Congratulations. Your family.
Okay, matters of interest, Commissioner, anyone have anything tonight?
Just one thing though.
Mr. Cardell?
I spoke with Ms. Stroud, Ms. Sarah Stroud, the CEO of East Point. And she had some questions that she asked about the board, and I talked to her about the things she inquired about the board. And she was gonna call each individual one of you guys, like I spoke of last time, but one of them, thanking now for Mr. Martin, she's scheduled to be at our workshop on the 13th. And she'll have opportunity to speak to you at that time.
Okay. Anyone else? Item 5, Blaine County School Department, Robert Taylor, Superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
With me by Ms. Owens, Ms. Penny. What we wanted to do tonight was to give you the information for administrative staff, the overtime hours that they worked during the hurricane. I'm sure you got plenty of questions, so I'll answer any of those questions that you may have.
Anybody got any questions?
I did.
Yeah.
Dr. Taylor, my only concern is when you were here a couple of months ago, we talked about the other staff, cafeteria staff, custodian, because I had one person who called, and I think her overtime they gave was like $108, like $9, okay? Why aren't they not on this?
Well, that was one of the things that we had talked about, and based on the conversation that we've had, the understanding that the commissioners would only pay overtime for people who had not been compensated for overtime. So that was the information that I had shared before, that because of how those hours were worked, we had a lot of people that ended up not getting compensation because it wasn't in overtime. And we wanted to try and do something to compensate those people so there can be some fairness and equity. And that's just simply what it is. Right now, we're working on a policy and a memorandum of agreement with the county commissions and the board that would address that. But until we're given some kind of direction from the commissioners to say that you will give us something to compensate those people, that these are the only people that actually worked overtime and they have not been compensated for.
Do you consider compensation for 2 weeks of work and other folks were home for $108?
That's what I've tried to share, and that's one of the things that we talked about, that there was not fairness and equity in it. What kind of exacerbated this entire situation is when the state forgave that time for school system employees, and that meant that 95% of the people were at home not doing anything, and the other 5% were working in the shelter, and they didn't get compensated. So we had some people that got $108, and we had some people that worked 65 hours and got nothing, worked 38 hours and got nothing, simply because of how it failed in the work week. And that's what FEMA looks at. If you don't have a policy that defines that, and that's what we're trying to do now, to make sure that in the future, we got something that will address that.
So you're saying they will be, if it happen again?
Yes, ma'am,
No.
and the question would be that we can develop a policy that says what we would compensate people, but if we expect the commissioners to reimburse us for that, then we gotta have a memorandum of understanding with the commission. So it doesn't matter what our policy says, if we expect you all to pay it, then we gotta have that MOU, and that's what we're gonna work out now.
So, Mr. Chair, I have my last question,
Yes, ma'am.
maybe you know. If we have a storm, ice storm, and they are in school and they open a shelter, how will those cafeteria custodians be paid then? Because FEMA's not gonna compensate for that. So,
They'll have to take the time off, comp time.
And so with that, what that would mean is that as part of the MOU that we're working out now, that's one of the questions that we're trying to answer. How many staff would be needed, how they would be compensated, and that's what that whole MOU is about. So we got a policy, but we have to fashion our policy to be in line with the MOU. And so what we can do is I can get you some information on what something like that would cost in the past. I think we went back and looked at, it was one particular time, I think it was, when the shelters were open for either 4 or 5 days during an ice storm.
Right.
And then I think the money that we paid out came to about, anywhere from $5,000 to $7,000, I can't remember the exact number. But in other occasions, when we had it, the shelters have only been open for a day or two during an ice storm. So that's kind of the issue is, what happens if there's a situation that's not FEMA declared? Then, who's gonna take the responsibility of that? And we feel that's something that's, responsibility of the commission. We're certainly gonna do our part to open the shelter. We know it requires school staff to be there. But it also comes at a cost for the school staff, and that's what we want that MOU to make sure we're all on the same sheet of music.
To ask the question,
Just a thought I think I'm going, we're gonna talk about all this in the retreat the 13th.
okay.
But like, I'm correcting Mr. Martin if I'm wrong, like the ice storm for county employees, they don't get paid either. They have to use comp time to make up their time.
But my concern is, I worry about cafeteria staff or custodians even showing up. They may not go to the shelters. And so it puts us at a disadvantage or at an emergency. Now you have no one there.
Well, we have to be fair and consistent what we do with county
Yeah.
employees. But we're gonna,
Okay,
we'll talk
that's
about
my
it.
concern.
But it's all, Mr. Cogdill?
the one thing I was asking, I looked at it, said administrators and overtime. Is it salary employees on a different status than hourly employees, like?
Yeah,
So
what,
do
Ms.
you-
Penny can certainly, tell you more about that, but what we do is go and look at, what that person's hourly rate is, and then that's how you come up with what they would be paid. So if you think about a school administrator, if you are, an administrator that has 25 years versus one who has 8 years, they're paid on a different pay scale. And they end up having a daily rate, and that's how we calculate what a person is paid. And then obviously with that spreadsheet is gonna depend on, how much time you work, because, even you got administrators in the same situation where some work, because they didn't work X number of hours, they would get 0 compensation. And so for those who work, a large or extended number of hours beyond 40 in a week, then that is how they would end up being compensated.
The only reason I was asking, when I looked at this pay breakout for compensation at this time, it was basically all administrators,
Right.
staff.
Yeah, because they were the only ones that worked overtime that were not compensated. And so that's a great question. Just so everybody would know, the classified employees, anybody that worked overtime, we've already paid them. I think we paid $80,000 or $90,000. I hate to ask a question like that off the cuff, but we've already paid that money because we know FEMA will reimburse that. But for those employees that are exempt employees, they haven't gotten anything. And so, that is the time that represents what they work beyond their regular work week. So,
The only reason I'm saying this is I've had some classified personnel talk to me, and they feel that they haven't been look at this, it just reflects
Yeah,
the compensation is not there.
that's right.
And I'm trying to figure out, you know, when I asked them and they say, you guys approved compensation for
Right.
X, Y, Z, why would they include it? It need to be some explaining done to the staff.
And I've
How
actually
this is
gone
handled.
out and talked to staff, and I've explained that to them on multiple occasions. And I'll give you an example. We had one employee in transportation that worked a number of hours to where his overtime compensation was around $6,500, I want to say. And so that's what happens if you have somebody who works in a particular capacity for an extended period of time versus someone who may go and work a shift for 8 hours, even 12 hours, in some cases 24 hours, but it doesn't end up putting them in a situation where they generate overtime. And that's kind of the thing that we want to hear from the commissioners to resolve, to give us some kind of way to compensate people for something that they've done when they worked in the shelter and didn't get anything.
The reason I'm asking this is just like Mr. Ward was saying, I know we're talking about that. If a person was a janitor and they look at the hourly rate and say, what's the purpose of me coming to work
Absolutely.
when I can stay home and get compensated for a week of work? And you can bring me here to work and let me work for 40 hours and I won't get compensated for it. That's the issue that they're raising. I didn't have to do this. And that explanation needs to be given to them is that when they come in, they need to understand that they won't be compensated for it.
And that is, and just so everybody will know, before any of the employees said anything, before anybody on the Board of Education and Commissioners, I was the first person to recognize that, you know, this is gonna be an issue, and we gotta do something to fix this to make sure we compensate these people in some kind of way. So this is what I told my employees. I said, I recognize that under this current structure, you worked, and there are gonna be some of you all that didn't get overtime based on how the hours fell, and you won't get anything. And so I will go to the commissioners and ask the commissioners to compensate you in some form or fashion. And that if the commissioners are not able to do that, then I can only ask the school board to do it by compensating them either with money, and we're obviously not in a position where we can do that, or try to do something with giving them some compensatory time. And so that's kind of where we are now, that the only commitment that I've had is to say that if there's anybody who has worked overtime and they haven't gotten paid, then we'll compensate them for that. And I want to go a little further because I know one of the numbers that jump out at you is Robert Taylor's name. And so I want to let everybody on this board know that I'm not here to be compensated. But what I want to do is take what would have been compensation for me and use every bit of that to fashion something for those employees that haven't gotten anything. And so, you know, I do this for my community because I did it in Matthews, I did the same thing in Florence. And I'm not here to be compensated. But I can tell you that I was out there and I wasn't just sitting in a meeting. I climbed on the back of 18-wheelers. I'm 51 years old. And I'm climbing up, throwing stuff out and mopping floors and going out and buying clothes for families at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. So for me, it's not about Robert Taylor. It's about what I know is good for my community. But at this point, that's the only thing that we can do is unless the board says they want to do something else to compensate people, this is the only thing that we can bring to you at this point. But you know, I'll bring whatever you ask me to bring.
Brett?
Add to that, Dr. Taylor, I think it's one thing that we're failing to remember here. And I know we have people that make lesser than others, and people need all they can get in the day and time in which we live, especially those that fall a little under the radar on a lower scale in pay. But I would like to think that we can sit here and consider the people that lost everything, that don't have anything, or have no money to get anything, especially when it comes to the supervision. I would like to think Mr. Martin is not going to be even wanting to receive a dime. And I think he's the type of person that wouldn't be expecting to receive a dime. you're in your fifties, me and this other great-headed fellow here is in our sixties, and we did a lot of that climbing and all every day during that storm too. And, but my heart is for those who lost it all and don't get anything, and they're all our bosses. And I hope we don't sit here and squabble for those that are supervision. Before I became working for myself, I was a salaried employee for another company. And salary man, I worked from beginning to the end, whatever it took. If it was 100 hours, it was 100 hours. Whether that was right or wrong, that's just the way it was. And didn't even ask nothing about comp time. If they gave you something, that was great. And I'm not saying that to be ugly. I'm just saying that I hope our hearts fall where they should be in concern for those who lost it all. And I do share it, just like Dr. Mungoins, because I've shared this with y'all before myself. I am concerned about our places if we have this tragedy, and we will, I'm sure again, that we do have people that show up. And, but I would hope those, such as ourselves, that donated our time and work every day, that we wouldn't be expecting, that we would give it up to those who truly need it, and be real mindful that the people's money that we're passing out is the people that lost it all. And so I do share that, and I hope everyone takes that to heart, and I hope we do the right thing.
And that's absolutely the way our people feel, because the administrators came out and worked and didn't ask for anything. So there are people on that list that lost. There are people that work in the shelter that are on that list that lost, that had damage at their property. And they showed up and did all of those things. So,
Same with the county.
Absolutely. So we're all on the same sheet. But all we want is consistency, because you know what they're looking at. This is the real problem, that what they see is compensation for people at the county level, county government, and then not that same equity for them that's doing the same work. And mind you, those people on that list, they didn't come expecting anything. And but that's the only thing that we were told that would be paid at this point. My concern is for those other employees that have, at the lower level and had issues at their own homes, but chose to come in and work in the shelter. So I think what I would say is that the environment immediately after storm and all the pay, you have a lot of upset people, and you all got the phone calls. But I couldn't imagine a single one of those people not showing up if the conditions were exactly the same and they knew that they weren't gonna get paid, because they see their neighbors lose something, that's not what's on their mind at the time. So,
Mr. Bullock.
Dr. Taylor, on the question I have though, that your goal and aim is to pay all hours work, doesn't matter who it is.
yeah, that would be the optimal thing, and we know that's probably not gonna happen, but, I want us to figure out some kind of way to fairly compensate anybody who worked in that shelter, to where we can try and close that disparity. A person who works 65 hours, in 1 week and gets overtime, and another person who works 65 hours split over 2 weeks and gets nothing. Now, we'll have to come up with a metric or something, but, it's just hard to tell them that we can't give you anything.
So hopefully we can get some a memorandum of understanding and a document that can pay every hour of work.
Well, gotta be consistent with what we do for county employees. Anyone else? So Dr. Taylor, everyone in the school system except this group of people have been paid.
The answer to that is yes and no. Everybody that worked overtime, that's a non-exempt employee. I'm a custodian, a maintenance worker. If they worked overtime, they were compensated for. We've already paid them.
So every county, every school, board employee that worked overtime has been paid at this list?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Doc.
I would, item 6A, we need to table this if it's the pleasure of the board, because we don't have the information about the grant yet. Motion by Mr. Cotter, second by Mr. Good. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Hopefully it'll be on the agenda 18th, okay?
The gentleman came in to speak. Mr. Morrison.
Okay. Mr. Hart, you wanna speak now?
Yes.
Oh, come on, come on.
Can I give a copy?
Yes, sir, yes, sir, yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, you ready, Mr. Hart? Are there two sheets, Mr. Hart, for one?
Two sheets. I gave her one and I gave her another.
Okay.
This one, that's fake.
Are they coming down?
You're not mistake. I gave her the first bunch, first copy, and I gave her the last copy.
Oh, okay, you got two of the same one, you got it? You ever got one?
There's two different ones.
Pass these out. And here's the other, here's the other.
Here else coming.
There's two different sheets.
It's coming, it's coming.
What's
That's
coming?
fake. I got it. Two different sheets.
Just take one of them.
Send that. Probably should. Recorded.
Can you see it from me?
Okay, ready? Mr. Hart.
President, Lee, Dr. Lee.
How you doing, man?
Nice to see you.
All right, on top. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to speak today. I was supposed to be at the fire department meeting, but I wanted to not attend that and come here
Okay.
because I think this is more important at this time. In front of you, you have copies of Blake Community College, East Arcadia campus. 20 years ago, or better, my father was instrumental in bringing the college to East Arcadia. And here I am 20 years later, looking at the college, the condition of it. And I've been and I've talked to Greg Martin, and I've talked to the previous president of Blaine Community College about the building. Now, there's a vague lease on the college. The insurance from the college is handled by Blaine Community College. For the first 16 years under the leadership of Dr. King and Dr. Page, everything in that college was taken care of by Blaine Community College. 2 years ago, our sheriff wanted to put a substation down here. And he did not go through the governing body of the town. The town asked to meet with him to try to discuss what he's planning to do down with the substation. He wanted to put in law enforcement as far as state troopers, sheriff deputies from both counties, wildlife. We put the lease stated that it was supposed to be used for educational purposes only. There was an article in the Blade Online that stated that the town of East Arcadia does not want law enforcement. That's not true. That college is located 50 feet from where the citizens of East Arcadia vote. We felt that, number one, it would be a part of voter intimidation. You have enforcement right there before we vote as citizens. Now, I've been to Greg about funding for this college down there to get repaired. I've talked to the prior president. 3 years ago, he didn't take care of it. After we did not allow them to put that substation there, they said it's our responsibility. We have requested the structural agreement, grant applications, everything from Blake Community College, so we can see what's in there. Because our position is that the college is responsible, not the town. Now, at this point, I'm asking this board here to intercede on our behalf. If we can't get it repaired, we can kind of deal with it a different way. Minorities in the county make up about 30%. You try to pass certain referendums and bonds, or whatever, and without our support, you can't pass it. Now, the college cannot support repairing it before they move out in the 30th. When the bond issues come forward, I plan to go to the minority organization, ask them not to support it, because what's going on here is not fair. Look at the condition of the building. It's been used for over 20 years by Blaine Community College. 20 years. And I'm here today to ask the county to get with the college and ask them to repair it. I've already made contact with the governor's office.
And I've also contacted WECT News investigators. The lease on that college that we have is a dead lease. We believe in our position is that in the grant application, a bond application, and structured agreement is the responsibility of the college. And that's why Dr. King and Dr. Page took care of it. We also feel this is off the limit. So I leave it in your hands, and if the county can't get the college repaired, then we'll take the next step. Mr. Chairman, thank you very much.
Mr. Ron, I'll be glad to talk to Dr. Lee about it, but, Blaine Community College has their own governor and board. All we're just here to fund their request.
Blaine
And I
Community
will
College,
do that, but it's the governing board's responsibility.
it's the governing board responsibility, I agree. But the college is telling us that the county won't help. The county telling us the college, everybody's pushing off each other, and leaving us out to dry. It's not right. If the county doesn't give the funding to the college can't repair it. So it's the responsibility of the county and the college.
I will get with Dr. Lee and get back with you.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job, thank you.
We're item 7A, Revenue Department, consider receiving a report of unpaid 2018 taxes.
Good evening,
Carol.
how are you? Good evening. I'm here tonight to present the unpaid real and personal property taxes for 2018. Our office provided each one of you a copy of the summary of levy uncollected report. I'd also like to mention that as of this morning, based on our tax levy in comparison to last year at this time, our records indicate we've collected approximately $680,000 more. Also, item B was to just let you know that 2018 unpaid taxes are now a lien upon the property, and we're requesting an advertising date of March 20th, 2019 to be approved at this time.
Okay, we'll act on 7A first. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Gooden, seconded by Ms. Trivett. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Item B, consider establishing the payment deadline to avoid advertising unpaid 2018 bill. Is there a motion on that? Mr. Brett, second by Dr. Freeman Goins. Any discussion?
One thing, just to ask one thing, is the 608,000, is that from the automotive part of it, that from this real estate?
It's not the bottom.
It just from real, just from real property.
Ms. Carroll, what was that date again for 7B?
March 20th.
March 20th, okay. Any more discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you, Ms. Carroll.
Thank you.
Item 8 is just, this is advisory board appointments for February 18th. And item 9 is advisory board appointments for March the 18th. So please look over those and be ready when they come up. County manager report.
Thank you, Mr.
8A. No, I got it down here. I got it down here. Okay, Mr. Martin.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to briefly review the calendar with you for the months of February and March. And point out that tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., there's the Blaine County Ministerial Association will meet at the Blaine County Hospital in the solarium. Next, your calendar, if I'm not mistaken, shows the Health and Human Services Committee meeting on the 11th. My understanding is that's been postponed to the 12th. So that will actually be on Tuesday at 5:30. Also on Tuesday the 12th at 2 p.m., the opioid working group meeting will be held in the Blaine County Health Department conference room. On Wednesday the 13th, just to remind you, there's the board special planning session will be held at Jones Lake beginning at 10 a.m. On Monday the 18th at 6:30, the board meets here. And on Saturday the 23rd at 6:30 p.m., the Blaine County Hospital Foundation will have its annual gala at Lou Mill Vineyard.
Mr. Martin, before you
Yes,
move
sir.
on, Smithfield, Thursday,
That's right.
if they need your shoe size, boot size and your coat, if you haven't done that, you need to get it to Miss Linda at Chuck's office.
Is that 10 or 10:30?
And,
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
yeah,
And the type food you want to eat for lunch?
yeah, type food you wanna eat.
And
And,
pork or veggies?
yeah,
I think
and-
veggie.
But you need to let them know that they were
I know.
mail for you. Well, we didn't get it either, but she started calling
She called
today.
today.
Yeah, she
I got
called
my
me.
call today. They're having a
Okay, I
problem,
sent
Smithfield.
them an email, but on the email that was requested.
Is that for all
She said
commissioners?
she would take a call, but she don't email
Anybody
that call.
can come.
I didn't get Tuesday.
I'll get you. Get it, Miss Linda.
Thursday.
It was still, it was, Mrs. Booth, it's still not speculative, you had already been to the one prior.
I went to the previous one.
Yeah, Chuck is saying you don't have to. You stand there and such.
Greg,
Yes, sir.
on the 12th, the Consolidated Health meeting at 5, gonna start at 5 o'clock, reception for Wayne.
Okay.
So that's at 5 o'clock on the 12th,
Stuff for February.
12th of February.
Instead of-
Instead of 5:30, it's 5 o'clock.
So Wayne Rainer.
Yeah.
Moving over to, month of March, the, 2nd through the 6th is the NACO Legislative Goals Conference in Washington. Also on Monday the 4th, there's a prayer service at 8 a.m. here in the Commissioner's Room. The ministerial meeting will be on Tuesday the 5th at 8:30 at the hospital. On Monday the 11th at 5:30, the Health and Human Services Advisory Committee will meet. Also that, evening, there's a Board of County Commissioners meeting, just to remind you, that's been postponed to the second Tuesday of March. The opioid working group meeting will be on the 12th. The Blaine County Fire Association meeting will be held at the East Arcadia Fire Department on Thursday the 14th at 7 p.m. On Monday the 18th, the board meets here. On Tuesday the 26th, from 5 until 8 p.m., the North Carolina Association of County Commissioners District meeting will be held at the Cape Fear Winery here in Elizabethtown, and the focus will be related to the opioid crisis. And then on Friday and Saturday, the 29th and 30th, the 27th Annual Open Fashioned Planners Day Festival will be held in the Garland community near Ammon. If there are no other questions related to the calendar, moving over to item B, I just wanted to update you and let you know we had a good visit last week from the Hometown Strong team of state officials. We had a good discussion about issues of importance to our community. We really focused specifically on the three areas of healthcare, economic development, and public safety. And so we had good conversation, and just wanted to share that with you. My understanding is that's one of a number of conversations that we have in the coming months. So I'll keep you posted as to how that progresses. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, individual delegation wish to address the commissioners? Anyone else sign up? Okay, item 12 is considered in closed session in accordance with the NCG 143-3, 18.11, 86 personnel. Is there a motion to go in closed session? Motion by Mr. Britt, second by Ms. Trivett. Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay.